We ready for it. We ready for it Saturday, Sunday.
There really is no calm before. In so many ways, the storm is here. French Quarter sandbags going in place because they know with Barry, more water is on the way. Across the river on the West Bank in Harvey, water the Corps enemy too. But the Army Corps' weapons are a different scale. Workers welding on extra steel, adding height to an already massive system.
We're putting in our emergency bulkheads.
They're called Stoplogs, and they protect the Harvey Lock from the rising Mississippi.
It's a very critical link in our infrastructure system.
Normally they're for maintenance work, but with Barry, it's protection.
Because the river is typically low during hurricane season.
Right now, the Mississippi River is at about 16 feet, but once these supports are in place here, it could handle water a lot higher than that, potentially up to 24 with the extra metal that they're welding onto these pieces.
And then they just stack progressively on top of each other.
5-part steel wall installed against the river.
Each of these Stoplogs weighs more than 90,000 pounds, and getting one into place takes dozens of men more than an hour.
We're doing everything we can do to mitigate risk.
They'll work through the night to get the job done. The storm of activity
It's just the safest step to take.
already hitting.
Whenever it's coming, we ready for it.
Bradley Blackburn, Eyewitness News.